Hello everyone, it's Bruce here with our first look at functions in Python, okay? And let's just get this out of the way for a second. You have already been using functions, right? We've done something like define main, print. I ran the main function, right? I ran the main function, and then we did something like we called main, and it did something, right? So let's just save this as functions1, functions1.py, and when we call it, right, it runs, right? I am the main function, right? It called this thing called main, and this main had, one command in it, right? One statement in it, right? And we could, put more in there, right? Actually, let's just slap a loop around it, right? Let's just say, hey, for I in range of 10, right? Do this thing, right? And anytime we call main, right, it's going to go here and run this code here, right? In fact, if I call main again, okay, and again, whoops, and again, right, it's going to call the main function, right, this thing up here, 3 times. So we should get a total, right, of 30, right, 30 lines of output, right? To make it a little bit more clear, I will just print a blank here after each iteration, and let's run this. Okay, and you can see here it ran and printed out I ran the main function, right? Pretty neat, right? So we were able to package up our own commands, right, and stick them in this thing called main, okay? Now, let's create another function. Let's just call it say hello. Say hello, okay? And say hello's job is to say print hi, how are you? Question mark. Okay. And now that I've created this new function or this new command in our program, I can say, hey, call say hello. Okay, say hello. So it's going to run main 3 times, right there, and then there, and then there, and then it's going to call say hello, right? So watch this. Ready? Run. So it's going to run that main function 3 times, and then it's going to call the hi, how are you, which is in the say hello function, right? And then let's do a new one called def, okay, say goodbye, okay, say goodbye. And this function's job, and I'm oversimplifying things here, nice to see you. See you again someday soon, right? Okay. Whoops. Okay. So let's go. Whoops, I forgot a parenthesis out here. Okay. Right there. Okay. And now I could call the new function called say goodbye. Okay. Say goodbye. And that's going to run the main 3 times, say hello, and then say goodbye. You can see there we go. So we are creating, right, these functions, right, that do certain things, right? When we talk about functional decomposition, right, we are breaking our code down into these things called functions that can do, right, do a certain thing, right, like say hello or say goodbye, right? Now, you could even do things, right, where instead of saying goodbye right there, I'm just gonna, from the say hello function, call say goodbye. So what's going to happen now is when say hello runs, it's going to print hi, how are you? And then it's going to call this thing right here, say goodbye, do its thing, and return back, and then go right to the next statement here. So let's run it, and then I'll step you through it, and then you can study it. Okay. So there it is. See, it even said goodbye without me calling right over here, right, the function name. So how does this work? We start on the main function right there, okay? That gets called, Okay, and it goes up to here, this line at the very top, and then it runs the for loop 10 times, and then it prints out this line. Once it's done, it returns right back here, and it says, okay, what's the next statement to run? And it calls main again. It jumps up to here, runs this, this function, all the code in here, and when it's done, it goes down to this main. Okay, and then when this main is done, it goes to say hello, which jumps over here. It runs the code here, right? Print hi, how are you? And then it goes to this other function called say goodbye, and then jumps down to here and runs this print statement, and then it's done. Okay? So I hope that makes a little sense. Okay, you've been using functions already. Okay, now these are simple functions, right? These parentheses, you'll see in the next movie, right, what you can do inside of those parentheses.